difference that I found in Dubai, especially with Boris in this case, was that he was very interested in making sure I'm comfortable where I am. I am somebody who is pretty easygoing in the sense that I didn't have too many requests, except for the fact that I wanted a high floor in this building. Boris really helped me expand that a little more. I think one of the first things he told me in the call was, Vivek, it's a home and you really need to feel at home. Don't just think of this as a one-bedroom apartment or a two-bedroom apartment, which is at floor X or floor Y, and has so much sunlight. He said, you need to feel comfortable here. So what would make you feel comfortable at this place? And that really expanded my thinking. I'd never thought of it. The engineer that I am, I always think of things in boxes. Yeah. It was really nice to get that perspective. And I think that never happened to me. I rented 5 apartments back in the US in the 6 years that I stayed there. So I would switch every year to have a new sort of a setting. And I know why I did that. I did that probably because I never found a home. I found a house, or I found a place which satisfied my criteria, but I never felt at home. The first call that I had with Boris, I pretty much felt out of depth. So, he made me feel fantastic, but really that was the call where he actually invited me to think broader and expand the set of options that I was looking at. Now that's something very unusual for a broker to do because I was giving him a very easy task that just find me a place on a certain floor and in a certain building, which was not that difficult, given the availability currently. So the fact that Boris actually invited me to think about not just the building that I was looking at, but also look at different sets of buildings, but also to start looking at different things that I would consider within a house, the kind of furnishing, the kind of lighting, and so on and so forth. That really made me think that here's somebody who is willing to think about my good more than I am thinking about it myself. At that point on, starting then, I think I pretty much kicked back and relaxed and let Boris do his magic and figure things out for me. We saw a few places, we checked out a few apartments in this building, and as I said, Boris also sort of encouraged me to look at a few other places, so I did check those out as well. So he spread all the options out for me very, very clearly, and then the decision was mine. So that was super helpful. For instance, if I were to give him a certain sort of a thought around, this is what I'm looking for, he would push me for more details and try and understand a little better. It's quite the contrary. Rather than pushing something down my throat, I think he was very interested in trying to understand what I truly would appreciate and enjoy. So once again, I got a little lucky here. So Boris was introduced to me by a mutual friend. I did, however, have to, even before I got in touch with Boris, I had checked out a bunch of these listing websites and tried to look at apartments there and reach out to people. I think I would have reached out to 15 or 20 folks before I did. Probably a couple of them got back to me. So it was a little surprising as to why people weren't getting back to me. Although eventually Boris clarified that it seems like there are multiple fake listings out there, which also made sense because a lot of these places looked similar. The pictures were the same, but on different floors or different rents. So it does make sense that there's something at fault there. Oh no, 100%. Actually, what Boris did was really set up a WhatsApp group with the owner. What that really did was he was a part of the conversation, but also gave me the space to have my conversation with the owner. So they were there at every step whenever I needed help or whenever I needed a negotiation to be made on my behalf. So the handover was pretty smooth, and I think they continue to still sort of check in. So they checked in a week after as well to make sure everything was working fine. I'm usually very busy with work, so I'm not done until 10 in the night. On an average day, and I start really early at 8 or 9 in the morning. So Boris was actually very kind to take phone calls later in the evening, also work with me over weekends. In fact, while I was in Abu Dhabi, I would, to check out apartments, I could only do that over weekends. So he would make sure that the apartments are available for viewing over weekends and, put in all the effort that goes into orchestrate all of that. So he was available all times and super helpful.